Hi everybody, this is Sarah Outlaw, nutritionist and herbalist, coming to you live from Outlaw Acres in my kitchen. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a grain-free berry bread that is wonderful to eat for breakfast or pack for the kids for lunches. And I'm going to go through and tell you how to make one. Normally I make this one with blueberries, but I had some frozen cherries that were really nice and I need to get rid of, so I'm going to use those instead. We're going to go through and this is my first cooking live show, so we're going to see how this goes, so just bear with me. Feel free to leave comments, ask questions, tell me hello in the comments, and then you can share this video after it's finished. You can find all of the recipes and all the information that I talk about at realfoodoutlaws.com. And if you are having any health issues and you're in the South Jersey area, feel free to visit me at my office at Natural Health Improvement Center of South Jersey. I'd be happy to take care of you there. So we're going to be using coconut flour as our base for this recipe today. You can find this one if you look up on my blog, grain-free blueberry bread with coconut flour and gelatin. That's the recipe that I'm following today, except I'm subbing out the blueberries for cherries. All right, so my first grain-free baking attempt was a complete fail. I didn't let the coconut flour and the batter sit very well together. So if you don't let the batter sit, then it gets very gritty and grainy. Earlier today I posted a video about on Grain-Free Cooking 101. So if you're concerned about not being able to know how to make things that are grain-free, then watch that video. There's lots of really good tips on cooking with coconut flour that you'll like. All right, so you have to get the right moisture with coconut flour or the end result will be a disaster. It will either fall apart or it'll just feel like you're eating sand. So both are no-nos, especially with kids. You can make these into muffins, this recipe. So let's go ahead and go through the recipe and see how we do. So we're gonna start with a half a cup of coconut flour. You can get coconut flour at any health food store these days. So half a cup of coconut flour goes on into the thing here. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And line a loaf pan with some parchment paper. I use unbleached parchment paper because it doesn't have any of the chemicals in it. Then you're going to put in a teaspoon of baking soda. So I have my cute little Pioneer Woman teaspoons here. So we're going to do a teaspoon of baking soda. This is from Frontier. I do run a local Frontier co-op, so if you guys want to get in on that, let me know. Frontier. And then I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of real salt, Redmond's real salt. I get it in bulk, so I just put it in here. So half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so that goes in your bowl here. So I'm gonna move the bowl over. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now real cinnamon is Ceylon cinnamon. So if you want to know what real cinnamon is, look up Ceylon, C-E-Y-L-O-N, cinnamon, and that is real cinnamon. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon of that. Okay. And you're going to do, my secret ingredient here is gelatin. So I use collagen powder. I use Vital Proteins is the brand that I use. You can buy. So either way is fine. All right, so I'm going to use 2 scoops of it. 1, 2. Now the reason why I put collagen in all of my baking recipes is because it adds, let's see, it adds 20 grams of collagen and 18 grams of protein in your food. So isn't that awesome? You can actually add really good quality protein to your food, get more protein, fills you up a little more, plus the addition of the good fats that we're going to use with the coconut oil, it really makes it beneficial to your health. All right, so then I'm just going to give it a little stir here with my whisk. Oops. Okay. And then these eggs are from my chickens. All right, so I'm going to do 4 eggs right here. So fresh eggs from chicken butts. All right, so go ahead and crack in your 4 eggs here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we got our eggs and whisk those in. Now this is the moisture that your batter needs. So you want to mix it up really well so that you can start the moisture process going. Then you're going to take 4 tablespoons of applesauce. So I make my own applesauce. I make it in my Instant Pot. It's awesome. If you don't have an Instant Pot, what are you waiting for? Go get one. It's the best. So here's 4 tablespoons right here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's your 4 tablespoons of applesauce right there. Stir that in a little bit. It's already, the batter, I'll let you see, the batter, it gets super, super thick. So see how thick it is? It's gonna be really, really thick right now. You're gonna use 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now I usually make my own, but I gave it all away, so I don't have any, and that's another tutorial. So you can make your own vanilla extract, and it's the best vanilla extract on the planet. All you need is bourbon, yum, or vodka, not so yum, and organic vanilla beans that you can get from Frontier Co-op or from Mountain Rose Herbs. But it is so easy, but it needs a good 6 months to really be awesome. So you need, if you're gonna make it for Christmas gifts, you really need to start in July. All right, so we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay. And then I also like almond extract in mine. You don't have to, it's optional. If you don't use the almond extract, just use a little extra of the vanilla. So I like to put 1, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do extra. So it's 2 teaspoons of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of almond. If you decide not to do the almond, then you can just put an extra teaspoon of vanilla or just leave it out. Either way is fine. So I know some of you guys already do some of these things at home, and that is great. Anything that you can do to make things from scratch, it's healthier for your family and it's much better for you. All right, so do almond extract. Everything I use is organic and natural. I don't want chemicals in my food. All right, so then you're gonna put a little maple syrup in. Now maple syrup is the sweetener. You can also use honey if you would like. So I'm going to use 1/4 cup. Or 1/3 cup. I'm actually going to use 1/4 cup here of maple syrup. Okay. Less is more. Sometimes I actually even drop that to 2 tablespoons, depending on how sweet the fruit is that I'm using, because I do not like sweet food. I'm a salty food person. I really don't like sweet food. So you're going to stir it up. It's going to be really super gooey still. Okay, and then you're going to add in 1/3 cup of coconut oil that's already melted. So I already melted this coconut oil. It's already melted for us. So you put that in. All right, and then you're just going to stir it up here. And then go from there. So I'm going to switch from a whisk now to a spoon. So I'm going to use a wooden spoon because it's a lot easier to really get this going here. And sometimes the coconut flour has lumps in it, so you have to kind of squish those out. See how easy this is? That's all you need. You're done. You're completely done. The only other thing you have to do is put the cherries in, and then you can put it in the box or in the thing. All right, so what you want to do is just kind of let this sit for a minute so that it soaks up all the liquid. And then you can kind of go from there. So again, the ingredients are 1/2 cup of coconut flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of the gelatin, 4 eggs, 4 tablespoons of applesauce, 1 teaspoon of almond extract, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup or less, you could even do less, of maple syrup or raw honey, and 1/3 cup of coconut oil that's melted, and 1 cup of your berries, which we're going to put in next. So I'm going to take my 1 cup of my berries here, put those in, and put the cherries in. These are slightly, they're frozen cherries, but they're slightly thawed. So if you put them in, they're too frozen in, then they won't thaw all the way, and you'll have frozen berries in your food. So you're just going to stir that up until everything is well blended. And then take it into your parchment paper lined loaf pan. Put it in. Ooh, it smells so good. I love the way the almond and vanilla smells together. It's really good. It's a shame you don't have smell vision. You can smell it. All right, so You just press it in. Let me get this out of the way. My oven's already preheated, so. I had to make this anyway, so I figured I might as well videotape it because some people were asking me for live videos for cooking. I figured I would show you how to do it. So you just push it into the corners of the loaf pan. And then you can see, look how pretty that looks. And then you're gonna put it in the oven, which I'm gonna do next. You're gonna bake it for about an hour and 15 minutes. So remember that I said that cooking with grain-free flours ends up taking a little bit longer than regular bread. So a normal bread for me that I did with wheat flour or all-purpose flour would take less. It's usually about 50 minutes to an hour, but with the grain-free cooking, with the coconut flour, almond flour, it tends to take a little bit longer at lower temperatures. I can usually get away with doing 350 degrees with this one. Sometimes, depending on what oven I'm using, if I'm using my old house or this house, it's 325. So just play with the temperature. Nothing is set in stone. Cooking is an art, not a science, so you really need to just kind of play with it. So I'm gonna turn my back on you for just for a moment. I'm gonna put this in the oven. So that's gonna stay there for about an hour and 15 minutes, and then we will go from there. So this is the recipe that I used for the bread is a base recipe. So that recipe I also use, if you go to realfoodoutlaws.com and go in the search engine and just type in bread, then you're gonna see that recipe is used in a variety of different recipes. So there's a grain-free apple cinnamon bread there. There is a paleo pumpkin bread, also a grain-free peach bread with cinnamon and cardamom. That is my favorite one. I love the smell and the taste of cardamom. It's so, I don't know, warm and sultry or something. There's something really sexy about cardamom, I don't know, but I really love it. And then grain-free chocolate zucchini bread, and there's also a chocolate-free version. And then the berry almond bread and grain-free blueberry bread with coconut and gelatin, and then also a grain-free chocolate chip banana bread. So all of those recipes are available up on the blog, and you can view them at realfoodoutlaws.com and really get, it's easy. So every day you can have a different bread, and they're all super healthy. They're chock full of protein, and with the addition of the collagen, you're gonna get all the amino acids and all of that. So this is really, really healthy food for you and your family that you can make very easily in just a couple of minutes. You saw that how fast that was. You can just whip it together really fast, cook it up, eat it. You can have it for the kids when they come home from school, or you can have it for them for breakfast. Either way, it's really healthy for them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments, and please visit realfoodoutlaws.com for additional recipes and DIY information. Have a great day, everybody.